Have you ever felt guilty and you didn't even know why? You love God, you're trying to do the right thing, but there's this quiet weight sitting on your chest, a voice telling you you're not doing enough, not praying enough, not giving enough, not being enough. And the worst part is, you can't even find where God said it. So you start living under pressure. You start performing instead of believing. You start chasing approval that God already gave you. This is where many people lose themselves. Because instead of walking with God, you start trying to prove yourself to Him. You fill your days with activity, but your heart feels distant. You say yes to everything, but feel empty inside. You push through exhaustion, thinking it makes you strong, but it slowly breaks you. And deep down, you know something is off. This is the moment where you need to wake up. Not to try harder, not to do more, but to see clearly. Some of the guilt you carry is not from God. And if you don't confront it, it will control your life. You have to take responsibility for what you believe, because what you believe shapes how you live. If you believe God is always disappointed in you, you will live in fear. If you believe you must earn His approval, you will never rest. If you believe your worth depends on your performance, you will burn out trying to prove it. But truth changes everything. Real growth starts when you stop blindly accepting every feeling and start testing it against truth. So let's get clear. You feel guilty for resting. You sit down and your mind starts racing. You think you should be doing more, serving more, working more, producing more. But God built rest into creation itself. Rest is not weakness, it's trust. When you rest, you are saying, God, I trust you to hold everything together even when I stop. That takes strength. So instead of running from rest, you need the discipline to accept it. Because a tired mind cannot hear clearly. A burned-out heart cannot grow. You feel guilty for saying no. You say yes to things you don't have the energy for. You say yes because you don't want to disappoint people. You say yes and then resent it later. That's not love, that's fear. Even Jesus walked away from crowds. Not everyone will understand your boundaries, but not everyone is meant to. You are not here to be everything for everyone. You are here to obey God. And sometimes obedience looks like saying no. That requires courage. You feel guilty for your emotions. You think if you feel tired, something is wrong. If you feel sad, your faith is weak. If you struggle, you must be failing. But that's not truth. You are human. Even the strongest people in Scripture felt overwhelmed. What matters is not that you feel, it's what you do with those feelings. Do you hide them or bring them to God? Real strength is honesty. Discipline is not pretending to be okay. It's choosing to stay connected even when you're not. You feel guilty for not being far enough. You look at others, you compare your journey, you think you should be ahead. So you rush, you force things, you pressure yourself. But growth doesn't work like that. Real growth is slow, it's quiet. It happens in consistency, not intensity. You don't become strong in one moment. You become strong through repeated decisions, daily prayer, daily effort, daily showing up. Not perfect, just consistent. Stop chasing perfection. Start building discipline. Because discipline builds identity, and identity changes everything. You feel guilty for enjoying life. You think being serious means being spiritual. You think joy is a distraction. So you hold back, you limit yourself, you stop fully living. But joy is not your enemy. Joy is evidence of trust. When you can enjoy what God has given, you are saying, I believe He is good. And that belief changes how you live. Here's the truth you need to hear. You are not called to live under constant pressure. You are called to live with purpose. There's a difference. Pressure drains you. purpose directs you. Pressure makes you perform. Purpose makes you move. And right now, you have a choice. You can keep carrying false guilt, or you can let it go and step into clarity. But letting it go requires action. You need to start questioning the thoughts that control you. Is this coming from truth or coming from fear? Is this leading me closer to God or pushing me away? Because not every voice in your head deserves your trust, and not every feeling deserves your obedience. Discipline is choosing truth over emotion, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it challenges you. And if you stay consistent in that, you will change. Slowly at first, then completely. You will become someone who is not controlled by guilt, not driven by fear, not trapped in comparison. You will become steady, clear, focused, unrecognizable. But it starts now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. Choose to rest without guilt. Choose to set boundaries without fear. Choose to be honest instead of perfect. Choose progress over comparison. Choose joy without shame. And keep choosing it every single day. Because the life you want, the peace you're looking for, the clarity you need, it's built through daily decisions. Not feelings, not pressure, decisions. So make one right now. Stop carrying what God never asked you to carry, and start walking like someone who knows you are not condemned, you are not behind, you are not failing. You are growing. And if you stay consistent in truth, your entire life will prove